If you pulled for the Wander, I hope you've been having just as much fun as I have been. I want to give you guys a little showcase and a full build of my Wander. And let me just say, the Wander slaps hard, and I expected him to. But man, he is so much fun. I love flying around everywhere, getting the extra distance. He's so unique and it feels so fresh. I'm having so much fun with him. So I have him at level 90 and my crit ratio is 68.9 over 174.1 with a little over 100% ER. I would love to get his crit rate around 80% and his crit damage around 200%. But I'm pretty happy where the stats stand at now. For the weapon, I actually ended up getting his signature weapon, which I currently have at level 80. And let me just say, this thing is amazing. I absolutely love it. And it just looks super cool. This weapon is not a must pull in my opinion. There's a lot of other good substitutes, but this weapon is pretty good. Just stacking up more attack speed just makes the game that much more fun. But again, there are plenty of other options like the Kagura's Verity, Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds, the Widsith, and even Solar Pearl. He has a lot of good weapons he can choose from, but his signature weapon is a lot of fun. For his artifacts, I am running the new set, the Desert Pavilion Chronicle. The 2-piece just gives you animal damage bonus plus 15%. Then his 4-piece, when charge attacks hit opponents, the equipping character's normal attack speed will increase by 10%, while normal, charge, and plunging attack damage will increase by 40% for 15 seconds. So again, stacking up that attack speed with his signature weapon and these artifacts, I bet you could imagine how fast he's attacking, and things die really quick. On top of getting that 40% extra damage, this is by far my favorite artifact set for him. You can also use the Viridescent set, but I personally like the Desert Pavilion. For his constellations, I actually ended up getting his C2, and that's where I want to stop. Getting his C2 allows him to hit like a truck. So let's read his C1 first. When in the wind favored state, so in his skill, the attack speed of the Wanderer's Hugo is increased by 10%. Additionally, by the passive talent, Gales of Reverie will deal an additional 25% of his attack as damage. So again, dealing more damage by 25%. So that's a pretty good C1. Then his C2, when in the wind favored state, again, in his skill, 5 ceremonial plays, which is his burst, will see its damage increase by 4% per point of difference between the max amount of Kuguryoku points contrasted with Kuguryoku's present capacity when using the skill. Through this method, you can increase 5 ceremonial plays damage by a maximum of 200%. So basically, when you're in your skill and flying around, you have an additional blue meter. It's like a stamina bar. So every time that's going down, you're losing points. And for every point lost, you're getting an additional 4% damage to your ult. So basically, if you're in your skill and you're flying around and you wait for the meter to get just about empty and then you hit your burst, you can hit a maximum of 200% damage, allowing your ult to hit like a nuke. It's insane. So if you want to go for constellations but don't want to go for C6, I highly recommend stopping at C2 because this definitely boosts up his damage by a lot. For his talents, I'm still working on them, but as of right now, I have him at 10-6-6. And I think you want to prioritize his normal attacks, then his skill, then his burst. But if you have C2, in my mind, I think you want to go normal attack, then his burst, then his skill. And of course, leveling up his burst talent will just make it deal that much more damage. Let me know if you pulled for the Wander and if you're having fun with him, or is he a bit underwhelming? I will say the only thing that I don't like is you pretty much need shield, because if you get knocked back, you actually get knocked back for a while because the Wanderer falls to the ground then gets back up and you're just losing out on a ton of damage when you're in your skill. But despite having to run shields, he's an amazing character. I love him. I'm having a ton of fun and I can see myself using him for the foreseeable future. Again, let me know what your thoughts are on the Wander.